Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channels. Hey, YouTubers. This is Jeff Blake with my second video. We are all about Jamaica's independence and what is entailed in being an independent country, what we need to be independent, stay independent, and show benefits that are gonna be handed down to our children and children's children. Hey, right in our second channel, we're gonna divert a little because we have a guest in our midst, Mr. Horace Clayton, who's gonna give us some our view on what happened in one of Jamaica's crazy moments where we had a serious accident, and we just want to recall that event, which is a historical thing in Jamaica that some people never knew about, some people just have a little idea about, but today we're gonna hear from someone who was there. Welcome, Mr. Horace.
Welcome.
During the time of the Kendal Crash, which was a train accident in Jamaica, what was the mood like in Jamaica? How was the mood in Jamaica?
1957 was a year that, like any other year, I recall, of course, the outing that we had, that so many lives were lost, that it was a yearly thing done by the Catholic faith.
When you say outing, you're talking about a regular
annual trip
that was made by the Catholic
Church,
taking young kids
young children to
visit
yes,
places.
yes.
Okay.
And it started from Kingston to Montego Bay. That was the run. In fact, myself, to catch the train, I had to take it, we call it the siding, Greenwich Farm.
Okay.
The train would leave from downtown railway, that Darling Street, and then the first stop would be, they call it a siding alongside the track. And of course, the fellow who's in charge of the gate would put the gate up and the train would stop. First siding. And myself and others would have made it there because the train had left early in the morning. Now, such a time, it was us as young people attending dance the Saturday night before. So to get up for that Sunday morning was very difficult.
It was a challenge.
And
yes.
My friends, you would have your parents or a friend to wake you. And then, of course, to bring the lunch and get everything together. So you would try to get to the nearest place where you can
get the train
or get the train to go. A funny thing that I recall is myself who started out on the way to downtown railway and finding out now that it was too long before I would have gotten there. So my friend would take me on his bicycle, ride me down to Greenwich Farm, we call it,
yes,
where the siding is. And while when I arrived there, there were so many people with the same situation. So much so that when the train was blowing to leave, the train man had to signal to the driver for him not to move because there was more people coming to take the train.
Just to fast forward a little,
go ahead.
When everyone got onto the train and the train left Kingston, what was the mood on the train?
Early in the morning, I must say most people were asleep. They would have, because as young people, they would be coming, I tell you again, parties. We would come into parties the night before. So when they come that early in the morning, the train would have left 7 o'clock in the morning from Kingston.
Right.
And then I've stopped at Greenwich Farm. So when I get on the train, most of the people would be taking a doze, per se. That was the way it would have been. And then if some would maybe sipping their chocolate tea, their coffee, whatever they bring as breakfast.
Let's get to that fatal moment.
Go ahead.
When either by a sound, a sudden stop. Describe it.
That part is, we're returning at around 11 o'clock, 12, because when we left Montego Bay, it was around 7, 8 o'clock.
So the accident was not on the way, it was on the way back.
On the return to Kingston. And at Kendal, there, myself, this time, or today, I don't remember what cars I was in. However, I remember hearing a loud noise that things are falling apart, right? Which, of course, the train was derailed and making all that noise. I was lucky. Some of my friends never made it. I was able to be in a car where it was not derailed and come out seeing half the train missing and the engine, it was dark at night, and the engine is not there. And then suddenly you start to hear crying of the people yelling out all the injury that has gone on, and those that were safe on the car that I was in came out looking, but you can't see anything because it was dark. So we stayed there for a while until, of course, the daylight comes.
Wow.
Then we start to see what the accident was like.
The
People
results.
all over, bodies were torn to bits, thrown down by the precipice. Some, I tell you, it was a horrible sight. However, what happened then is that the engine came back and took us down to the station Kendal, which was not
Yeah.
far from that where the
Okay.
accident happened. And from there, who was or needed hospitalization would have gone to the hospital nearby.
From my just doing some research, I see where Kendal is a district near to Manchester. So it's in Clarendon,
Sure.
close to Manchester.
Yes.
The cause of the accident were some mechanical issues with the braking system. There were 1,600 passengers, 175 people were dead, 800 people injured, and the aftermath, after the whole thing, and people looked over the accident and see what went wrong, what could been better. There were some changes where they first thing they did was replace all wooden
Carriages, metal carriage, yes.
Right. And then the next thing was they changed the name from the Jamaica Government Railways to Jamaica Railway Corporation.
Yes.
So, what was your feeling on most of those persons who got the opportunity to do those training?
One of the, well, and I'm going to use the word advantage very scaringly, but of the accident is there was compensation for the people who were injured. And I don't know of the people who got killed, if their family member got anything. However, the people who had accident, which some of them were my friends, I know they got compensation. And the following year, 1958, most of them, if not all, their fear to go to migrated to England. So that being said, the question you ask about that opportunity that people might have gotten, that idea there, where the opportunity given now to students that through the scholastic system that we had, and they turn around the what we call the Board of Education or the Education Department and chose people with ability or those who have the background to go away to study, and made a contract with them to further their study in whatever discipline and come back to help the country, be given jobs within the government sector to help. Some of them, I don't know if, but some of them absconded, did not come back. And a few did that came back, and thanks to them that did it. I know a personal friend that did, and he is totally happy that he actually came back and served during that time. This, I must say, for him and others like himself, thanks to them.
Okay.
Because during the time of political upheaval, they were there, all the problems that we have had. So that I give them a lot of credit for.
So, or just wrapping up, you would say all young people and people in general who get opportunities from any country, especially Caribbean countries, to go away and study and use government funds to study, should honor that role and be patriotic enough to come back and do what they're supposed to do.
Sure.
If the country goes in their kitty, take out money, send you where they gotta send you, then you should. You too, Jamaicans, Barbadians, Trinidadians, this is where we are. Jamaica will celebrate their independence August 6th. And we need to rekindle this fire where we will use these opportunities to benefit the country. Our crime situation and all other negative things that goes on in the country are based on people with the skills and ambition not putting it to the benefit of younger people or people in general, so we can see what it would look like when we behave in patriotic manner. We thank everyone for watching. On August 3rd, if you are in Florida, show up to the Jamaica Independence celebration in Lithia, in Florida, and let's make this torch relight and make all the countries in the Caribbean be different and be better. Thank you. Yes, thank you for coming, and we may have to do this again. We may have to do this again. This is a very important thing for us and people come behind us. Thank you.
I'll be glad to come back.